In this video, we'll discuss common problems which lead to thread breaks on your Highland embroidery machine. Thread breaks are a common occurrence on embroidery machines, and some thread breaks are to be expected when running production. However, excessive thread breaks on particular needles on your embroidery machine are frustrating as the operator and can significantly delay your production. The three most common causes of thread breaks on your machine are in relation to the thread path, the alignment of the needle in your embroidery machine, as well as the tension on those specific needles. The first most common cause of thread breaks on your machine is in relation to the path that the thread is taking from spool to needle. If the thread path is off in any way, it is going to result in poor tension, but also thread breaks all the time on your embroidery machine. As we'll see here on needle number 15, the thread should be following the white arrow, which is going around on the left side of this silver post and the right side of the second silver post. Ours is backwards, so in order to fix this, all I'm going to do is grab the thread and bring it around on the left side of this silver post and then pull it around on the right side of the second silver post. This is going to fix my problem and alleviate thread breaks on this needle. The second most common cause of thread breaks on your machine is in relation to how the needle is positioned in your embroidery machine. Every needle has a front and a back to it. The front has a long groove going down the entire face of it, while the back has a small indentation, which we call the scarf, which is located just above the eye of the needle. If the needle is ever backwards in your machine, that needle is never going to sew right. It's going to result in thread breaks and skipped stitches. So always be sure when you're putting a new needle in your machine that the front of the needle is facing towards the front and the back is positioned properly facing towards the back of the machine. Once you have the needle positioned properly in relation to the front and the back, you need to also make sure that the eye of the needle is pointed straight ahead. To know that we have the needle positioned properly, you can use the needle magnet, which is found inside the toolbox that came with your embroidery machine. To use this, all you got to do is place this magnet on the face of the needle that you have just replaced, and it's going to point towards the direction that the eye of the needle is facing. If the needle is ever pointed to the left or to the right, it's always going to cause thread breaks and skipped stitches on that particular needle. So we always need to make sure before we start sewing with a needle that we've just replaced that the eye of the needle is pointed straight ahead. The third most common cause of thread breaks on your machine is in relation to the tension on particular needles. We're going to cover tension more in depth in another video, and you will find that on our MESA training website.